Hello, and welcome to Doctor Who. We have gathered a lovely group of companions to join the 12th Doctor today. And but first, we're going to start off with some introductions. I am your lovely GM for this game, Metzgirl. You can find me on the Twitters and a bunch of podcasts we'll get into later. But we will start with the mysterious man in the shadows.
Oh, goodness.
Who are you? Where can we normally find you on the internet? And who will you be playing today?
I am Anythingarax. You can find me on Twitter at Anythingarax. That thing. I just hang out mostly. I wanted to play some games. Thread Raiders had some people who wanted to play games, so I'm going to play some games tonight.
Yay! And your character?
I'll be playing Wallace Brown. They're an average bloke from Gimby, I think. What's the city? It is Grimsby.
Grimsby.
Yeah, it's a port town in England.
Excellent. All right, and moving along, the
Fung Fu Pie. Yeah.
There we go.
So my name is Unika. You can find me on the interwebs as Fung Fu Pie or the Fung Fu Pie if you're feeling fancy. I am normally screaming with Dicey Amazons. Today I'm over here, taking a little break from my normal character Dejori to play Madame Vostra and try and give her some justice.
Very good. And next up we have Sam.
Hi, I'm Sam, at SamSlot007 pretty much everywhere. And yeah, I'm going to be playing the Doctor tonight. So we'll see how this goes.
No pressure.
Yeah.
It's all good. All right, Mac.
Hey, Maction at pretty much every place, but Mac for short. Yeah. I'll be playing not an already established character by the name of Mr. Taylor, who has some little bit of amnesia and talks really strangely. So fair warning.
Excellent. And I'm going to butcher your name too.
let me save us all. It's Kalia. There we go. You pronounce it in Spanish, you'll always be right. I don't do the Twitter thing, but I am on Facebook because I'm old. But I also stream along Pie over there with Dicey Amazons every other Sunday at 11 Central. But now I'm here hanging out. I'm excited to play the Doctor Who. Yay! Oh, and I'm Martha, Unit Martha, not first hanging out with the Doctor Martha.
Yes, the one who knows her stuff more so.
He uses guns.
Yes.
That too. So for those of you who are unfamiliar, this is an actual Doctor Who role-playing system. So the basics of it are that these people have different attributes and skills, and they're going to be rolling 2d6 and adding one of each, an attribute and a skill for each thing that they're trying to roll for. And hopefully they beat whatever we're trying to do. And that will be determined by how difficult whatever it is happens to be. So that's the very, very basics of everything. We'll get into that more as the mechanics go on. But we start off our adventure in the TARDIS. The Doctor has decided that the last adventure was just too much and we need a little seaside break. So he has decided to take us to the town of Arrowdown. It's a lovely little seaside village. It's going to be just a delightful little place to go chill for a little bit. So you get to town, the TARDIS lands, and you are on, it's a fountain kind of in the middle of town, and there are steps leading down in all directions. It's a nice little lovely square to gather, whatever. And as you're landing, it's a gorgeous day outside. It's just like the perfect temperature for a seaside visit. You can see kilometers and kilometers of white sand on the beach. There's some lovely, looks like maybe there's some donkey ride action that you could get if you wanted to. In front of you, there is also it looks like a hotel that probably has like a bar and a restaurant and stuff inside. Of course, there's the front walk of the seaside place where you can always get, of course, fish and chips and the various other accoutrements that you would want to get from anything seaside. And there's a harbor, and then off to the back, there's a little fun fair kind of in the grass behind where the beach area is. There's like some carnival rides and stuff back there. So you are all exiting the TARDIS. Go.
I do incredibly love the seaside weather on my skin. It just tends to hydrate it just perfectly. Such a shame that Ginny missed it.
Well, I'm sure you can talk to her later. I'm going to kind of go and stretch a little bit. Always being aware, looking for anything that seems out of place, because I've been around long enough to know simple does not always go simply. But yeah, I'm just going to stretch, look around a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of strut out of the TARDIS and yeah. Oh, weather. That's it.
This is go ahead.
No. After you.
No, I've got 30 minutes. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, if it's, a relaxing type of thing, first thing Mr. Taylor's going to do is fetch his old photograph out of his pocket and start looking around for familiar things, seeing if he can't piece anything together before he truly relaxes.
Wallace is gonna go look at the petting zoo with the donkeys and see if they got any little food he can buy for the animals.
Okay.
Little nibble.
So you're walking off down to the beach for where the donkeys are?
Yeah.
Okay. Is anybody joining him?
Donkeys.
Yes.
I love donkeys. Did do it.
Okay.
I'm going to kind of trail behind because the doctor tends to be overexcited about things. So I'm going to follow.
Okay. So as you approach the stalls, you'll notice that there's nobody around. There's a little sign up front where you would normally go to rent a donkey to ride along the beach that says that they'd be back in 5 minutes. Can somebody give me, let's do awareness and, I don't know, we'll call it survival.
I can do that. Madhavashra. Yeah. Madhavashra's been around long enough, 12,000 years. So that's 7, 6, 13.
Okay. That is good enough. You notice that the creatures, they're like penned up and they seem like very eager to be interacting with a creature or a thing or a person. Like they maybe have been neglected for a while. They seem kind of hungry.
Oh, wow. These creatures seem more excited to be here than we are. Does anyone else find this peculiar?
My little friend wants a snack.
It's a snack. So
Donkeys are always hungry. Always hungry. Donkeys.
I find that you 8 people are also very hungry all the time.
I'm going to look around to see if there's any food I can
Sure.
give. I want to be helpful.
Yeah, there's kind of a stash over toward behind the bench where you would rent them. There's like a stash of oats and things back there that you can feed them.
Okay, I'm going to go grab a bucket of oats.
All right. They are very appreciative. They seem super excited to see you there. And gobble it all down as quickly as they
Betty
can.
loves a good oat. That's fine.
So, like the sign and stuff that's there, like, does it look like it's old or like it's kind of neglected or?
You can go ahead and
anything
check it
like
out. Let's do. I don't know. Do you want to Sonic it? That would be like an awareness and a science, I think.
Sonic screwdriver, data carbon,
Yeah, something like that.
map living.
For science.
Yeah, I think that would be science or knowledge, one of the two.
17?
17. Okay. So it's giving you a weird reading. Very weird reading. Like it seems current, but at the same time it seems old. And you can't quite tell. So the year you've landed in should theoretically be 2005. And this particular reading is giving you everything from like early 80s all the way to like 2000, well, your current time. So it's really weird.
Time really does have a way of just getting away from you, Doctor.
Yes. Old. It's old and new, kind of like me. Old, new. Is the sign able to be like picked up at all or
Sure.
moved? Yeah, I'm just gonna pick it up. I'm just gonna hold it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is solid. It continues to read. They'll be back in 5 minutes. It's just a little wooden like placard with like a chain on it that you would hang on a hook. It's just
Okay. I'm just
fine.
gonna kind of be looking at it and kind of wander over towards where the oats and the donkeys are, where they're feeding the donkeys.
Okay.
Just kind of looking like I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, and I kind of see Doctor's attention. So I'm already like paying more close attention to the surroundings, and I'm going to go join him over by the sign, or the sign he's holding, I guess.
Yes. And Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
give me an awareness, since you're looking around for things that look familiar. We'll call it knowledge, awareness and knowledge.
Okay. 17 for awareness and knowledge.
Okay. So as you're looking out at your friends running down the beach, you notice that there are seagulls that are around, but they're not moving. They're just like suspended midair.
That doesn't portend well. All right. Am I probably still within earshot of the rest of them, or do I need to approach their position to catch their attention?
You probably want to move a little bit closer.
All right, I'll start heading toward them then. The whole gaggle of us down at the donkey thing.
Yes. Very good.
I've never been with a gaggle of donkeys. That's new.
Well, they might be a flock. I don't know. I do not know the plural of donkey.
We'll have to-
Donkey.
Bird?
And also on the beach,
What's happening, Mr. Taylor?
let's have Wallace. You followed them too, right?
Yeah, no, I'm still giving the donkeys some oats, giving them a little scratch right in the middle.
Okay. So you're just chilling with the donkeys. Awesome. Martha, though, since you have your eyes open for weirdness that is happening around you, go ahead and give me awareness and knowledge.
Awareness and knowledge. So it's 2d6 just to make sure I'm remembering. 2d6 is 7, awareness is 10, and knowledge is 13.
Okay. So that's enough for you to realize that the tide and the waves aren't moving.
Of course. Do I also see the seagulls? Has Mr. Taylor told
I'll say
us?
you can include that with that.
Okay. It's
Mr.
always
Taylor,
something.
you're close enough now too.
Okay.
All right. Excuse me, friends. Little bit of just a little bit of an issue. But have you noticed that the seagull thingamajigs aren't exactly flying today?
and I'm gonna kind of still holding my sign, look up at the birds and go, "That's not supposed to happen."
And while we're at it, let's go ahead and add the also not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Everything seems to be still but us. Would that be too big of a stretch to pull at this point?
I mean, the donkeys are moving.
The
Wallace-
donkeys are moving.
Wallace sticks his finger in his mouth and like puts it to the wind, sees if the wind is still going.
No, there's no breeze.
You think the donkey stopped the time?
It would be the first time I've ever heard of some sort of donkey prestidigitator, but I mean, stranger things around the doctor. And Taylor's going to give the doctor a quick sidelong glance.
And I'm gonna just take off towards the beach, down towards the water.
Okay.
And as soon as I get there, I'm gonna try and kick at like the closest bit of water there, to see if it actually like moves.
I'm
Yes.
following. I'm stomping in the water as well.
And
You're having a lovely time splashing in the water.
And the waves are just still frozen and stuff like that.
Like, there's no tide or wave action, but it's still
Huh.
behaving like just like still water, basically.
And it's the ocean for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's a harbor of the ocean, yeah.
Not moving.
So it
not
should be moving.
It seems time has stopped, but not stopped. But only for some things.
what time of day is it? When is it bright?
Yes. It's like 2 p.m. right now.
Hold on, my
Can we go-
computer cut out, so I didn't hear that.
2 p.m.
Sorry. Okay, thank you.
You do see further down, if you're staying on the beach area, there is like the boathouse where the lifeboats or whatever would be. And then you can look the other way and you can see a harbor that currently has looks like regular ships that you would expect in a harbor.
Mm.
Are the ships rocking? Like as they would rock, as they're ported.
No. They're just chill. Still
Hmm.
just still like the water.
Time
I
is
ask-
moving, but not moving.
I ask anyone else if they've seen any other person since we got here.
Have we seen
Ooh.
any other person? Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen all of
No.
you lot.
There's no other people.
Well, all of you apes
Okay.
look the same to me, so am I seeing more of you?
Valid. I'm
I
gonna
might
go splashing in the water. I want to yell after the doctor, like, hey, maybe you should wait a second before you go splashing around in something you don't understand, but I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna look for a building that looks like it might be a public space, like
Okay.
where people might be inside
Right.
the hospital,
It was
So
some
there-
sort of public building.
Right. So from where you're at, there's the boathouse that has a little sign for a gift shop as well.
Mhm.
But the other way, like toward the main town area, there was the hotel that looks like it would have a restaurant and a bar and stuff. So that would be kind of public. Otherwise, there's like the fish and chip shop. There's a couple curio little shops along there and things
Okay.
along those lines.
Okay.
But probably the hotel would be the biggest like public space, if that's kind of what you're aiming for.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna go see if I can. I'm gonna start heading that way, watching always
Always watching.
as we go. If there's someone who can explain the donkeys being active but nothing else.
Right. You as you're walking, there's nothing along the way to the place. But you get to see a sign that says a thing because you're coming at it from the short ground. But do you think I can remember what the name of that building is?
You don't need to. You have it on paper.
I do. Give me 2 seconds. Monroe's. It is Monroe's cafe. Monroe's Cafe.
Okay. All right. Looks like I'm going into Monroe's Cafe.
Okay. Is anybody joining her, or is she on her own?
Mr. Taylor will join her.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't
So-
think I had any breakfast either. I'll go with.
Excellent. So the three of you walk into the cafe, and the cafe is like front and center of the water. It's a really nice looking building. It's got all along the walls as you walk in are some black and white photos of movie stars. It's like a giant Victorian staircase. There's some music playing, and you can hear the sound of cooking coming from the kitchen. And then as you enter, there is a woman that walks up to you, and she emerges from the kitchen, and she's like 40s-ish, so she's kind of middle-aged, and she just seems very friendly, like you would expect a hostess to be. She walks up to you. Oh, hello. It's a little bit early for the dinner crowd. Can I get you something?
Are you still running one of those lunch specials?
Well, and she looks up at the clock. I suppose I could.
What do you
I-
got?
And she will run through several special options.
I'll take number 3.
All right, number 3 for you. What can I get for the other 2?
I'm just gonna get some coffee if you can, and a cup I can take with me. Would that be okay?
Oh, absolutely, honey. A to-go cup. Absolutely, I can do that for you.
There we go.
Sorry for my accent being all over the place. Anyway, and you, dear, anything else I can get for you?
Just take a coffee and a large pile of chips.
Ah, chips. Absolutely, I can do that for you. And then she will disappear with your order.
As I'm splashing around, I'm gonna
Mhm.
turn. I'm gonna go. What do you think about Martha? And turn to. I'm assuming Madame Vastra is still down there with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where did Martha go?
Well, it seems 3 of our party have left to go find food. I'm assuming. I don't know. I don't really need to eat that often, so their perplexity with food always astounds me.
Food.
But yeah.
Food.
Hmm.
And he's gonna take off. He's just gonna stride away towards the food. Yeah.
Why are we always running?
Walking with purpose always.
And I'm going to take off after.
Okay. So I assume you then enter Monroe's as well.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you enter. They are now seated at a table kind of toward the middle of the room. It is empty other than the 3 of them. And there you can hear the similar sounds of cooking and such coming from the kitchen.
Can I take a peek? Maybe like some diners have like where the door to the kitchen, you can kind of like peek around, and like if the door is swinging, you can see like if there's staff inside. Can I peek around and see if there's like actually someone back there?
Yes. So are you walking up to like the kitchen door, or are you like in the just surreptitiously kind of like looking around?
Yeah. So yeah, I'm walking up to the kitchen door.
Okay. So the way that this is lined up, like you've entered the main dining area. The staircase kind of went off to the, like as you're entering from the seafront, it went off to your left. And
Mhm.
then this is the main dining area, and the kitchen would be kind of toward the back right corner. And then there's another to the back left. There's another door leading somewhere.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's very open inside for the moment. So you
Mm,
go back
yeah.
to the back right?
Yeah, I'm going to the back right. I'm just trying to peek around. I'm not trying to walk into the kitchen quite yet, but I definitely want to peek in there.
Okay. So it has those like swingy doors, so you can definitely easily peek over the edge. Go ahead and give me awareness and knowledge, I guess.
Okay, so that's 7 plus. Oh, damn it. I'm just not rolling well today. 7, 11, 12.
Okay. So you see Teresa poking around back there, and you don't see anything else. But there's like, you still hear the sounds, but you don't see the movement. It's a real disconnect.
I'm gonna wave over to the doctor and say, "Doctor, do you see what I'm hearing?"
And I'm
And
gonna
point.
peek my head round. Huh. And I'm gonna walk straight into the kitchen, reaching into my pocket to pull out my psychic paper
Okay.
and walk straight up to the woman.
Oh, health inspector, huh?
Hello, I'm here for your inspection.
She goes, "Oh, oh, yes, oh, of course, of course. Well, as you can see, I'm I'm short-staffed at the moment."
Yes, where are your staff? I need to, make sure that cleanliness is up to snuff.
And she looks really nervous right now. And a little bit flustered because you've walked into her kitchen. But because you're the doctor and you are familiar with weirdness as such, I will give you a chance to use a sonic screwdriver situation if you want to roll an
Oh.
awareness and science or knowledge or
Cool.
something.
Sounds great. 17.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you are able to pick up with the sonic screwdriver that she is chock full of chronon energy, which would come from some form of temporal rift.
Okay.
And
Okay.
not only her, but the whole room that you were currently in, and possibly the whole building.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
he's gonna kind of, the way he does it, it's not like surreptitiously or anything. He's just gonna pull it out and just kind of start scanning her, and he's gonna go, "Oh, absolutely filthy."
It's the
tell
newest
me.
models of scanner, huh?
Yeah.
This kitchen is incredibly disgusting. How do you get any food out of here like that? Doctor, do you see this? And I'm just going to kind of go along with the bit.
Yeah.
And she looks around. The kitchen is spotless, by the way.
Yeah.
There's not a speck of grease anywhere. It's just like been scrubbed to the gills.
Mhm.
I'm doing like a finger check and like rubbing my fingers and like, oh, disgusting.
And while they have her come to the kitchen and completely distracted, I'm gonna make a full perimeter check.
Okay.
Around the rest of the, you said this was attached to the hotel, right?
Right. So the staircase goes up to another foyer area where there's like a hotel and some other goodness.
Okay, yeah, I want to look while she's clearly preoccupied. I want to go look through the rest of the space.
Okay. So the rest of the space, it looks like a regular hotel once you leave that area of it. It's just there's like a reception desk, and then there's a dozen rooms. It's not a very big hotel, but that's about all you see there. And most of it looks pretty standard for hotel fare.
Okay, can I go up to the one of the windows? Because I'm assuming, how much higher? 2, 3 stories?
Yeah, it's a 3-story building. The hotel's really only on the 2nd story. It's kind of weird, but
Okay, I want to see if I can look out of a window.
Okay.
And see if
Yeah.
I can further in the distance than when we were on the ground.
Okay. So, yeah, when you get up to the window, you can see kind of you're facing back toward where you came from. So there's that fountain area, there's some houses, there's that fun fair off to the behind where the beach is. And then you can't really see beyond that. It's kind of like a heat haze feel to it. Like there's basically once you hit the end of that fun fair, all you see is kind of that hazy distance kind of feel.
Okay. I'm gonna head back downstairs.
So tell
I
me, my
will
good
have you.
woman, what happened to all your staff? Where are they?
Um, oh gosh, there's been a bit of an issue recently with the this. Give me a presence and subterfuge knowledge, something like that.
16 with subterfuge?
Okay. I don't know if that's right, but
Okay.
so you'll notice that she's very fidgety and she keeps glancing behind her like little she glances out of the kitchen, which you can see straight up to the point where you would basically pay your bill. Going to happen. Well, okay, so we've been without staff members around here for a long time, and there's been no one that's come to visit me for a while. So you're making me very concerned that something is changing.
But the sounds don't match up.
Oh, right.
I feel like this is going to take a bit more investigation, Doctor. Don't you agree? I feel like maybe we should try and check into the hotel as
What did you
this
call him? Are you? You're not the doctor, are you?
Oh God.
Which doctor do you want
Oh,
him to be?
oh, thank God, it's you. Is it really you? Is that oh, it's your sonic screwdriver. Oh,
And he's
praise.
gonna
Okay, so I have been stuck here for almost 20 years, and I've been working on trying to get this rift to do thing. Well, I'll get into that later. But so this rift is here. I've been here with Torchwood. I'm actually a member of the Torchwood team, and I've been trying to keep track of this rift. And recently, there have been Autons that have been attacking the town. They've been coming for the rift energy, and I have been alone in fighting and trying to keep this town from being killed off entirely. And so every day I have to reset my temporal loop to keep the town from dying every night. And right now we're in the middle of waiting for them to attack. Can you help me?
I do not believe her.
Wow, that was a lot of information. Okay.
Can I roll to like a I don't believe her. Basically, I want to roll to see if
Okay.
she's telling the truth.
So that would be either awareness or presence, and I'm going to say convince or subterfuge. Because that would be, we'll say, well, you're trying to find her. Yeah, knowledge. Knowledge, convince, or subterfuge. Whatever's higher.
Okay. They're actually the same. So.
Okay.
Roll to disbelieve.
Right. Okay. 10, 16.
Okay. She, as far as you can tell, is telling the truth now.
Okay.
She wasn't quite sure how to handle people at first, but now that she knows it's a doctor, she seems to be telling at least part of the truth. There may be more to the story, but she also did just babble a whole lot at you very quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I came back down the stairs, did I hear any of that?
Yeah.
I don't know where I am in proximity to the kitchen.
Okay, so you were upstairs checking. This whole conversation took maybe 15 minutes, and I'll say that you are currently, like, if you're coming to the kitchen, you're probably, like, at the door. So you may have caught some of that.
So that I can definitely see that her demeanor has changed from when we first walked in the door to now, if nothing else. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm going to walk in and join them in the kitchen to see why the change, what happened.
Okay. So,
Rift. You
Uh,
said rift. There's a rift.
oh yes, I can show you down to the basement. There's a, I've got quite the setup. You, maybe you can figure out what I'm doing wrong. And she will start to lead you off, out of the kitchen area, back into the dining room, over to that other door that was off to the left side of the kitchen or the dining area.
Mhm.
So, Mr. Taylor and Wallace, you do not have your food. You do not have anything, and now they are leaving you. They seem to be.
We were supposed to get food. Nope. Yep. That's not happening. Okay.
I do have
What
a
do you think,
question.
Wallace?
We heard the sound of cooking, but did we smell the cooking?
There's no smell.
But there was
Just the
sound
sound.
of cooking.
All your senses are very confused right now.
Just lies and deceit.
We saw them walking away.
Mhm.
Suppose we should go
Oh,
with them.
And I agree. Let's do it.
Yeah, and we just get up and trot
And
along
continue
their way.
following.
And for now, the woman doesn't know that I'm unit as well, right?
Correct. She has no idea. And Torchwood and Unit are
Oh, right.
technically
They're
separate.
different. Gotcha. I knew
But
Light her
anyway,
up in the chat. Light her up in chat.
I knew that. I just forgot she said Torchwood instead of unit. She just,
yes.
Captain Jack Harkness would understand.
Yeah, fair. Yes. He would swing both ways. All the ways, all the ways.
He's a modern 25th century man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So she leads you to this area, and from here you can see that off to it doesn't match the dimensions that you would expect from the building that you saw from the outside. Off one direction, you peek through a door as she's walking, and you can see an Olympic-sized swimming pool. Continuing on down the hallway, there's a bedroom that looks like a nice little place. There's, family picture kind of deal. And then she gets to the end of the hallway and leads you down into the basement area. In the basement area, there is a whole bunch of wires. And actually, Martha, I'm going to say you just noticed this because you're all up on your awareness. In the rooms that you went through, there was weird piping and wires like strung up along the corners of the walls, and it seemed to be coming all back through here. So as you're walking along this particular hallway, there is a giant mass of wires and tubes that are leading out of the basement to these other places, whichever way they're going. And so sometimes you'll just see it go straight up into the ceiling and you can't quite tell what it's doing. But you also see, like, as you're going down to the basement, there's also stairs going up. So there's more above you in this particular location.
Okay, but the way I'm sorry, what was her name? Did we ask her name?
No,
The-
nobody's asked her name, and she didn't bother to tell you.
that's totally fine. She's just leading us straight past any doors and all of this stuff, right? She's not even pausing.
No, she's taking you to the rift because the doctor has asked her about the rift.
Okay, I'm gonna slow down just a little bit, not so I lose them, but I definitely want to inspect the direction of all of these wires and to see somewhere I might want to come back later.
Sure. Give me awareness and science. Science.
Okay, let's see. Awareness 3, science 3, 6. Oof, God, 11.
Okay. So there's definitely wires going places.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. There's no, like, you can't think of any real reason to have this much wiring in a house or in a building like this, because it's just, in theory, it's just a cafe. So very clearly something weird is going on, but you can't figure out why or what this would be for at this point.
Okay. All right.
Wallace, with your technology, would you be looking at any of this?
I do have a thread I want to go on because I still want my chips. As far as I know, this woman was the person who was cooking them. So I asked, so where are we going? Are we going to get the potatoes then? Get some grease for the grill.
No, there's a rift in the space-time continuum down here, and it's actually powering most of this.
Yeah, and I got a rift in my stomach, and you got somebody working back there, but no chips to show for it. What's that about?
Well, okay, so I've managed to make the time loops happen so that you shouldn't actually be getting hungry unless you came hungry, in which case I'm afraid you're just going to stay that way until this time loop is
Ooh.
stopped.
So that
That
means the
is-
coffee I got
Oh, this
isn't
just
working
got
either.
so much more terrifying.
Yes. So I'm just gonna stay in need of a coffee. That's fine.
Uh-huh.
It's an
I wanna
unfortunate
see if
side
she's-
effect.
I want to see if she's still trucking the truth.
Okay, go ahead.
Right, what are we using?
Awareness and knowledge,
Okay.
subterfuge.
I almost want to say that my hunger is worth a story point, but I'm not going to use it this way.
Wow.
Oh yeah, that was a point that I didn't mention. Story points are something that they can spend. They each have 12. So if they are stuck for something to do, or if a roll goes badly, or before the roll happens, if they want to add some d6 to it to make sure that it doesn't go badly, those
Yeah,
are some things they can spend story points on.
I was going to say, I just rolled Snake Eyes, so it's fine if I spend a story point.
If you want to, sure.
Yes.
This is 100% an appropriate use of Wallace's story points.
Chips are very important.
Absolutely.
I got a 15.
Okay. She is indeed telling the truth about like the way the time loop functions. You will be hungry when it starts over. So you could eat now, but when the time loop starts over, and it's going to be in a few hours, she knows this, you're just going to be hungry again to whatever point you were at when you entered the time loop.
I'll just
So you could
quietly-
eat now, but it's pointless, basically.
Yeah, I'm just going to quietly think about the salty taste of chips.
Okay. So as she leads you down into the basement, there's actually a loud alarm that starts to go off. And she looks completely unperturbed by this, and she just continues on.
Don't you want to
Question.
miss?
Yes?
There's
I-
Oh, right. Oh, yes, sorry. That alarm goes off every day, about this time. It means we have a couple of hours. Well, maybe. We have some time before the Autons come. Autons
Oh.
come.
Well, what is time really? Okay, and then I'm just gonna keep following.
And so I'm behind, but not super far behind. So I'm gonna ask her, like, so what do you know? There's a rift. It starts over
Yes.
again, but you don't seem really sure. How long? 20 years? You've
Okay.
been-
Right. You probably want the full backstory. Okay.
Something.
So,
We've got the time.
Will we forget? Can I ask that? Whatever you tell us, will we forget when everything resets?
I haven't had anybody come into the middle of it while it's in motion before. So I don't know, to be
Oh.
perfectly honest.
That's great.
I don't think so.
Would I know?
Oh, sure. Go ahead. Roll
but-
knowledge.
Okay.
Awareness and knowledge. And I'll give you a +2 because you're the flippin' doctor.
Okay. So that's 5 plus 10 plus 2, 17.
Okay, yeah.
You really like
So-
17s today.
He's
do like
really
17s.
good at rolling 17s. He's got like 6s and 5s and lots of things.
Good.
So it seems whatever I roll, it ends up as a 17.
So yes, you are able to discern that in this form of a time loop, the way that you entered through the TARDIS would actually give you the ability to remember from the end of the time loop back to the beginning, because you're kind of intruding from the outside. You're not one of the people stuck in it.
Okay. Yes, yes, we would remember. We'd remember. I remember everything. Everything.
Well, you're one up on me.
Yeah, you remember a little too much, and sometimes not enough.
So you just spend your day hanging out there in the diner.
Well, oh, I was going to mention too, Martha, since you have your awareness, you would have noticed too that the windows and doors are very thick and seem to be reinforced. Like the shutters that you would normally close against a storm or something like that are really thick shutters. They're very made of metal. They look like they're built to withstand an attack of some form.
And they're closed over.
They
They're all closed. Not none of them are open with opaque. Okay.
they the ones in the diner themselves were open. As
Mhm.
you went upstairs, you did have to open one of the shutters to be able to look out.
Okay. All right. Are you planning? Are you prepared for some sort of attack? Like I see reinforcement here. Is this
Ah,
needed?
yes. So, full story, right? So I don't know if you would know this, Doctor, but back in 1944, 45, there was something that had landed in this harbor, and they thought at the time that it was just an unexploded bomb from, the war. And so they were trying to retrieve it, and it had kind of burrowed underneath the bay, and they, in attempt to get it out to make sure that it wasn't going to explode the town, they drained the bay, and they'd actually gone out to look at it, but instead of being a actual bomb, it looked kind of like a burnt up pepper pot. um and they managed at the time to extract it from underneath where it had buried itself. But once they got it extracted, then Torchwood came in and we took over. And of course, it was a Dalek. You know, it was trying to temporally shift itself out and opened a rift. And in the opening of the rift, they managed to take care of the Dalek and kill it and what have you. But they cemented its body, its casing, in the bay itself and left it there, for fear of accidentally setting off something. And then once they had done that, this rift was here, so they just decided to continue monitoring it, really, because it wasn't doing anything at the time, and now it is, and there's some major trouble about. But they didn't want to listen to us that things were happening, so we went to go report it, and yeah, bad things happened. It was very sad.
So when the temporal rift resets, do you then still have to take down the Dalek as well, or are we fighting Dalek? Is that what you're trying to tell us?
No, oddly enough, the Dalek has been fine. I don't believe it's done anything to harm the town. Well, I mean, the little squishy
A
bits, they killed off
Dalek not
that.
harm anyone? I preposterous.
Well, no,
Squishy
it's
bit.
gone. They killed the squishy bits. So it's fine.
Okay.
It's just its
Do we
casing.
have access to this dock, or is it covered with the bay water? They put the bay water back in.
They put the
It's
bay water back in, yes.
it's
That
covered.
there wouldn't be a beach and a harbor if there wasn't a bay.
True. True. I'm just wondering if the Dalek could be sending some sort of signal, Doctor.
Oh,
Hmm.
An emergency signal, maybe when it's about to die.
And you keep saying autons. Autons? What autons?
yes. So the thing that keeps attacking us is not Daleks. It's these really weird plasticky robot things, kind of like mannequins.
Oh
They're
no.
They come from the fun fair, especially the ghost ride. And they're all manner of, ghost ride badness, werewolves and vampires and things. And they just started attacking one day, and they started killing all of the townspeople. And I'd been working with the Rift Energy for some time. Um, uh, well, for reasons. But I was able to figure out time loops enough to, like keep the food fresh. And I was able to figure out that every time I did something, it was making a new room on my building. And so I was able to keep them locked here if I manipulated the vortex just right and was able to get the wiring and all that to stay. Um, but yeah, it's been quite a bit of problem.
So all the people are here?
In a way, yes. They'll, and she looks at her watch. It'll probably be in about an hour now. The attacks will start again and everybody reappears.
Got it. Okay.
Then let's go get to that rift. Are we at the rift yet?
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
down at the rift for sure. So
Awesome.
if you look around, there is a bunch of machinery that
Mhm.
looks real intimidating. Some of
Mhm.
it looks older, some of it looks newer, and there's all these wires going everywhere up the walls, and especially through that big tube that you saw going up into the hallway. And if you, I don't know, want to do some investigating,
How many buttons would you say?
42. There are 42 buttons on the
The
wall.
right amount of buttons.
Of
Always
course, it's
Taylor-
42.
Taylor is transfixed and is inspecting everything.
Excellent.
Okay.
Just don't push anything, Mr. Taylor.
Doesn't
going
hear a
to-
word.
Immediately do sonic things on it because it has some sort of reading and I can know what this does, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay. So what sort of check would that be? That would be
Oh,
just a straight roll or
we'll do awareness
5,
and knowledge or science.
9.
And then Mr. Taylor, if you want to
15.
do awareness and same thing.
Indeed. Snake eyes, but I'm lucky.
Ooh.
And a double snake eyes. Okay, never mind. I'm not.
You're
lucky.
not lucky.
Mm-mm.
You want to fade it up? Just
You're lucky
story
in the
point?
opposite way.
You know what? Yeah, I'll burn a story point and
For
throw on a
42
couple extra
buttons,
dice.
I
Yeah, for
would-
42 buttons, this is meant to be. You're right, Sam. Okay.
Oh, that's
An 18,
awesome.
doctor. Correct?
No,
did you say?
15.
15. Okay.
17 for Mr. Taylor.
About time.
So
It was finally meant to be.
The dice owed you.
So the doctor is just transfixed by the fact that there's a rift here. I was a little distracted by the fact that there may be a Dalek invasion happening or something. So
Very
he doesn't-
distracted by the Dalek. Yeah.
Yeah, not able to figure this part out at all. However, Mr. Taylor, in his investigation of this, realizes that according to the readouts on the screen on the wall, along with all these buttons, there's not enough energy. Just in your weird way to just kind of figure it out by looking, you can tell that there won't be enough energy to do the thing that needs to happen. So the reset that she's talking about, there's like a thing that has like a little exclamation point or something that's saying not enough, whatever. And you can discern from that you need to somehow get more energy back in here.
I'm a little bit new to this, but I'm not exactly sure what kind of operation you've got running here, but you don't have nearly enough stuff to do the thing you're trying to do. We need to get our ducks in a row and start doing this thing.
What exactly is this 8-man talking about?
There's a thing. See, there's the flashy thing. There's the sign with the exclamation thingamajig. It tells you something's wrong. There's something wrong, and this thing looks like power. So I'm
gonna
thinking,
look
So
at
what he's
the
trying
exclamation
to
thing.
say,
That looks wrong.
what he's trying to say is that the energy readings don't indicate that there's enough power available to do the restart that she's talking about.
leave it to Doctor Number 2 to put it succinctly.
I think it's
Yes,
very interesting that
that's-
it took 3 apes to explain it.
And not one lizard. No.
Because you guys are explaining it. The way that you talk, it's like you only know 3 words, and all those words are awesome.
Awesome.
I think it's a little early in the day to be engaging in character assassination, don't you think, Madame Vestra?
Not at all. The sun is up.
Fair enough.
So yes, she walks over to the screen that you're looking at. Yes, that's been my trouble the last few times. There's every time they come back, it takes a little bit more power, and I cannot figure out how to get this power to be here where we need it, as opposed to, I suppose it probably has something to do with all these rooms that I'm trying to keep locked.
Where are you getting the power from?
Here,
The rift,
This-
basically.
the rift itself makes power.
Okay.
Isn't that how you power the TARDIS?
I've been thinking about this a lot, and oh man, that sounds like a scary idea. But yeah, of course, yes.
Okay, before we start putting the TARDIS to this mix, what happens if we start shutting down some of these rooms that she's powering? It seems, if I'm correct.
The people disappear,
So
right?
I thought you understood it, ape woman.
I'm just verifying before the TARDIS is brought in that we've exhausted all the possibilities. Can we condense some of that power into one room?
Oh, I suppose I don't really need the pool.
How often are you swimming anyway?
Got a beach right there.
Every
What do you
day.
need the pool for?
Well, fair, I suppose. Yeah, if you could figure out how to dismantle some of those, that could probably help. Do not, under any circumstances, let the bedroom go. It has a picture of my husband, and I need it.
Why can't you just take the picture with you?
It disappears. I tried. If you take
And
the
this-
picture out of the room, it disappears.
This is
'Cause
the only
it's not
copy
of
you
this
have?
time. So, when we were trying to tell Torchwood of the rift energy that was beginning to activate and do things, they weren't listening. They were busy, occupied doing I don't know what else. And so we were going to drive there and be in their presence to just let them know, because sometimes you have to just get in somebody's space in order to have them listen to you. But we were in a car accident on the way, and I was thrown from the car and was in hospital for 6 months, and my husband was killed on site. And so
I'm very sorry to hear about that experience. Do you happen, maybe outside of the rift, have this picture in the real world?
it doesn't exist. It's from past the point when he died. He's older in the picture. This was back in 1990 when we were going to go and tell them about what was happening. And that picture, he's my age now.
So we can dismantle the pool and the bait shop and the hotel. Well, maybe not the hotel, because
The hotel was here.
Yeah, but we can dismantle everything else as long as we leave most of the hotel rooms.
My bedroom with
Your
the
bedroom.
picture. please.
Say, Doctor,
Yes.
feel like taking a little trip after we do all this, get another photo with the man.
Oh.
Ooh.
Is that a fixed point?
Well, and we're talking about temporal conflict there, people.
Yeah.
I don't know how this space stuff works.
Yeah, the doctor knows more about that space stuff than Sam does.
No, it wouldn't work.
It's not okay.
Because he
Yeah.
died.
Yeah.
And so if he's dead and somehow she got into a different timeline to get to that picture, that's not good.
Yeah, that's
That makes
bad.
perfect sense.
Would it,
They get
would it
why we
instead
can-
be possible to reroute the power from that bedroom into the TARDIS, and then we could recreate the room in the TARDIS? I mean, we got the space.
Yeah, anything's possible with enough jiggery pokery.
So it seems like we're going back to using the TARDIS again before fully. Do we feel like we fully understand what's going to happen here?
Well, the first solution is always the best one. Yeah.
That's not my experience with you, Doctor.
Yeah, you know. Well, what's your solution, Martha?
Again, before we bring in the TARDIS, just try and condense all the energy that we need to keep everyone alive into as small a space as possible. Let the pool and other extraneous things go that we don't need, and see how much power that gives us.
Okay, and how do we maintain the rooms? The rooms, can we just turn them off, or do we need to dismantle them? We don't have time.
So-
Never enough time.
Can I investigate for that to see like how we would be able
Yes.
to condense that power?
Yeah, can I give a chance for that too?
Yeah, anybody who wants to, you can roll awareness and knowledge/craft, we'll say.
We'll definitely go knowledge for Martha, because craft is not her jam.
17.
Okay.
12.
Did the doctor roll it
14,
all?
practically not worth mentioning.
Okay,
Not in
so-
this esteemed company.
Madam Vastra, you have managed to figure out that by looking at the way the wires are running and going off of what Martha was saying about the wires being in the rooms or something like that, you're able to put 2 and 2 to come together to 42 and realize that the wires themselves are what are being run around the rooms to keep them temporally locked. That if you just cut off the wire to whatever room it was, you could probably stop that room from being locked.
So I'm gonna look to the lady and ask, which wire was the wire to the pool?
I didn't label them. I don't know.
Well, you must have some sort of way for figuring out which
You could
which is
probably just go
which.
to the room itself and look. You could just, detach from there if we have to, I suppose.
And how many rooms are we talking here?
7.
That's not as bad as I was worrying.
And the kitchen itself even is significantly larger than you would anticipate for a cafe of this size. So it's part of it.
Wait, it's bigger on the inside?
He's catching up now.
Quite a novel concept.
I've always wanted to be the one saying that.
Interesting thing, your brain, doctor.
Yes, big. Very big.
Okay, so guys, are we trying the room thing, or do you want to go ahead and bring in the TARDIS?
Well, let's go to the rooms. Let's.
All right, are we going together, or is each taking a room as we go up?
Everybody split up.
Yeah.
Everybody
Well, I mean-
take a separate room.
I've only got one pair of, wire nippers, so I mean,
I have a katana.
I don't see any
Lord,
reason for
I
us
don't
to
think
be-
I have anything, so I'm going to have to just
don't have
investigate
your-
and then find help.
Don't you have a gun, Martha?
Oh God.
So that's what I'm going to do. is
Aren't
just
you in a
start
unit?
shooting. start shooting at
She does
things.
have various tools around if you wanted to ask for something.
Too easy.
Yes, could I borrow a pair of wire cutters? Is that all I need for this? It seems kind of.
Probably.
Do you
Depends
have
on the
any
room. Some of them
circuitry
have.
measure, like the tools that measure circuitry and power in any given wire?
Can I sonic the
Um,
wire and see how much power is running through it?
Sure.
Of course you can, but do
Yeah.
you have a spare screwdriver?
Okay, Sam, tell us how many gigawatts.
Yeah, that's exactly.
1.21.
6 plus what to see power?
Oh,
Science?
science, medicine.
So
No,
that
not
would
science.
be 11 with science.
Technology. There we go.
Oh, technology. Okay. So 6 plus 5, 11. And an attribute, would it be awareness?
Yes.
15.
That's all I'm having you roll.
Okay. He does a lot of awareness. 15. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, there's power running through it. It seems at this point a lot of power is running through
Like
for
1.21 gigawatts or something like
Mhm.
that.
yeah,
Okay.
something along those lines.
Many.
Many
Uh,
powers.
A veritable bolts of lightning.
Cool. Cool. Yeah.
So we're going back upstairs. What are we doing?
There's a lot of power. There's a lot of
So-
power going through there. You'll die.
Oh, so I shouldn't cut it with the clippers. is what you're
Yes.
saying.
Yes, that's what I was trying to establish. Yeah.
So
There's
however,
other
though,
tools for this. What? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I will have you you probably want to go back upstairs and investigate too, or
Of
At the
course.
room. Yeah.
maybe. So go ahead and sonic that. We'll do technology awareness plus 3 for sonic goodness. Actually, it was
Ooh.
plus 3 before.
9, 13, 16. There you go.
Okay.
And I want to see, using hopefully my ingenuity, I want to see if there's another way around. Like, I feel something in the back of my brain telling me that there's a way to disconnect the power without electrocuting and killing myself and everyone else. But I can't remember, so I need to roll.
Yes. Okay.
Shall we just call
So the
plug?
doctor is able to determine as you're going up the stairs and going to the different rooms that each room has a fraction of the amount of energy. So it's very clearly being diverted to multiple places that it's causing the power drain. But probably you wouldn't die, maybe, if you cut it from there.
You wouldn't die if you cut this one.
You sound very sure of that.
I'm always sure.
Immediately after the doctor says, you probably wouldn't die if you cut this one, bam, clippers out and nipping that thing
Yes.
immediately.
Yes. Well, if you didn't do it, Mr. Taylor, I was going to get to it. We have to get this game moving along. We only have an hour, right?
Yeah.
We have until the 7th.
In
We have
in
2
game
hours
time.
until the mannequins show up.
Yes. In game, right. Sorry.
Mhm.
So I will roll to not electrocute myself however you think is most
Yes.
appropriate.
Yeah, let's do resolve and science or technology.
I'll go technology. May I add my technically adept? Technically, it's only tech to roll to fix, use, or craft. Can destroy be part of that too?
We'll call that crafting, I guess.
Excellent.
Let's not destroy Mr. Taylor. We have people to keep alive.
Look at you can, Mr. Taylor.
That'd be 19.
That is good enough. You somehow manage with your clippers, like they're insulated enough, like you feel that maybe it gets a little bit warmer, but you manage to clip through it. And you detach the bowling alley that is no
Excellent.
longer needed.
No! How are we going to bowl to 300 now? We could have kept trying till we got it right. Dang it.
I'm just gonna look at him and
It's
then
gone.
make my way to the kitchen and then do the same thing with my katana. Slice right through that cable.
There's a lot. There's more power
So-
there. Be careful.
There is more power in the kitchen, but the wall just suddenly appears in front of you, and there's no more doorway into the bowling alley.
Oh.
Is what happened when Mr. Taylor did the thing. So, okay, so you want to go to the kitchen itself.
Yeah.
Let's do resolve, and you rolled I said science or technology.
Okay. Resolve. Okay. All right. 7 plus dice. Don't fail me now. Okay. 6 to 8 plus 7 is 15.
Oof. Okay, so
Uh-oh. It worked,
Yeah, that didn't sound
but
good. Yeah.
I'm gonna say you take a point of damage, so that would be
Okay.
either to your resolve or your strength.
Oh no,
Okay.
I made it look too easy.
You manage to you do manage to sever the tie, and the kitchen goes back to like normal size,
Mhm.
and is all of a sudden very dirty.
Oh,
I knew it, and which is the reason why I appear to be hurt right now.
You could use a story point and bump that up a level of success.
You could.
Oh,
If you wanted
yes,
to.
let's do that. Yeah, you said we have
Okay.
12 of those points? Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah. So then no, you do not take any damage.
But the kitchen is still disgusting, and we need to talk about it.
This is fair. Health and safety is very important.
Very
okay.
important.
So how much of this have I seen? Did they go up? We've all gone up together?
So you were in the hallway, so you probably saw Mr.
Yeah.
Taylor do his thing because the doctor
Okay.
was still doing.
False
sonically.
security there.
Yes.
I'm gonna go to which room is the bedroom? Can you let me know that so I stay away from that room? I'm going to the last door on the left.
Right. Mine would be the second door on the left, so you're fine.
Okay.
And that one.
And I'm gonna go down there. Can I open the door?
Sure.
I want to open the door and look and just not go in because that causes problems. I just want to look in to see if I can tell what that might be connected to.
This particular room is actually a very nice library. Lots and lots and lots of books.
That's nice. I'm having an internal dilemma right now. Very, very strong dilemma.
We
But
can
then
see all the books behind you.
It's really good cinematography.
But then I remember this is not real, so it won't actually remove any real books. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the wire for that with whatever I have. Did I pick up anything? I think I was looking for something, but I don't think.
Yeah, she handed you a wire cutter. Yeah.
Okay. I'm a little nervous about this. Can I look? Is there something that I can wrap around my hand, like
Actually,
plastic
give
or
me
something?
an awareness and a technology roll.
Okay, technology I can do. 17.
You notice there is kind of a juncture that turns off at this, where it's like been twisted and screwed together. So like there's those little end cappy doodads that go on wires, you know,
Yeah.
that if you just undid those, you could probably get through it more quickly without, slicing through
Could
things
get
with metal.
through multiple rooms or just ending the power
You
to
can
this
find the
room?
one that's going into this room.
Okay,
easily
then
enough.
yeah, I'm gonna do that instead because Mr. Taylor, he has the luck of the savant, and I don't necessarily want that. So I'm gonna see if I can disconnect this juncture.
Okay. So go ahead and give me a coordination, because this is not necessarily resolve. Coordination technology. Is that good for you?
Yeah. So 15.
Okay. This you manage to do pretty easily because you're literally like just unscrewing the little cap things and like pulling it apart. So it's not nearly as difficult as they were making it look.
Phew. All right.
It's so much less fun, though. I'm just gonna break it to you. It's so much less fun.
And
Your
you
lack
know,
of
I'm okay.
proficiencies in your katana skills are still lackluster. I mean, this doesn't go around that.
I am okay with not being electrocuted. Like, you know.
You nearly were.
Like,
Mhm.
nearly, but did I die?
Boom.
That is always the Doctor Who question.
Okay, so Teresa is her name. I'm just going to say that she's actually
Oh
told you by
yeah,
now.
it felt kind of awkward to ask her name after all this time, so I was just gonna pretend.
So Teresa will come up to you, up the stairs to the hallway where you guys are all congregated, I'm assuming, at this point. Oh, yes, it looks like power levels have returned, so the next time the Atons attack, I should be able to restart this without trouble.